Hey everyone, this is Fawn with Navigating Gluten-Free, and we're just trying to figure out how to navigate this gluten-free life together. And you know, while there's only, what, 3, maybe 4 grains, if you're like us and can't do oats, there's like 3 grains that we can't do, right? So we can't do wheat, we can't do rye, we can't do barley. My family can't, we have to add that 4th one, can't do oats. But, why does so much stuff made with just 3 grains? But if we want to have the same kind of stuff, if we want to have bread, if we want to have all those same things that we were used to having before going gluten-free, we got to figure out the gluten stuff first. So you may have noticed that this is not gluten-free, okay? This here, it's got gluten on it. It is full of gluten. So what the hell am I doing with it? All right, so what I'm doing with it here is I am figuring out what this is going to do. We're going to take a cup of this flour and we're going to put it in our bowl here. We're going to add some water to it, right? And we're going to see how much water it takes to get it to the crumble stage, to a dough stage, to a thick batter and a thin batter. And the reason that we're doing this is so that if this self-rising flour is called for in a recipe, we know how much water that recipe says it needs per cup. We're also doing the weights. We're doing grams, we're doing ounces, okay? And this is all going to be on my website, so I will put a link to it down below so you have all that information too. And if we know all of this information, then we know when we're cooking gluten-free, we know how to switch up the recipes, right? So this is not going to tell us how eggs behave, how milk behaves. It's not going to tell us how the starches are, if it's going to crumble apart in the oven, if it's going to rise, it's not going to tell us any of that information. We can definitely look at that later, right? And we will go through and we will try all kinds of things out. But today what we're doing is we're going to do that with this wheat-based flour here. All right, so this is self-rising flour, and we are going to just add the water and we're going to see what happens. Before we do that though, I'm going to get changed because I don't want to get this all over myself. I'm going to put some gloves on, mask, goggles, all that stuff, because I don't want to get it into me and get really sick from it, okay? So just give me a couple of minutes. It'll probably be half a second for you. And I'll be right back. And we will get this started and see what this self-rising flour does. All right? All right, hold on. Okay, thank you guys for waiting. So we're back here. And so what we've got here is the self-rising flour. And the self-rising flour is, as it says here, just enriched, bleach, pre-sifted. But it's got other things to make it rise. So it should be really similar to the all-purpose baking flour one. But let's go ahead and do this testing just in case, because we want to make sure that we get things as accurate as we possibly can, all right? Oh. And opening these bags is showing me why you don't touch them in the store, because they have got flour in all of these little folds. I'm so glad I'm not in my house. Okay. Also, I probably shouldn't be trusted with this kind of packaging, should I? All right, here we go. So first of all, we're going to take the cup measure and we are going to get just a nice cup worth here. Okay. Oh, maybe we're just a little bit shy. Let's go ahead and do that again. All right, so a nice little cup worth here. Oh, my little scale went off. Oh no, I didn't. Just got covered in flour. Okay. So let's go ahead and put this flour to the side here. And we are at, oh, do not know what we are at. My scale is not wanting to function here. I am definitely going to have to give this scale to my mother after this, because I don't think I can take this in my house. Okay, so we're going to tare. And I already weighed the container, so I can take that off. Okay, so I've got, do not have milk. I have 199 grams. Okay. So let's go ahead and put that in our bowl here. And we are just going to take some water. I'm going to start with like 5 teaspoons. All right. And then we're just going to try to get it to that like crumbly stage. Like if you're going to do a crumble topping or something like that, just where it kind of, if you pull on it, it sticks together but then comes apart. This is really not that yet. All right, so that was 3, no, we did 5 there. So let's add another 3. 1, 2, 3. All right, so we're up to 8 teaspoons in here so far. Okay. Yeah, and I'd say that that's what we've got now. So it's holding together, but crumbles apart. Okay, so we've got that. So we did 8 teaspoons, and we gotta make sure that we're going to weigh this again as well, so we have all the data. Okay. And then we're at 214 grams. And let's grab up some ounces here, 7.5. All right, and so now let's go ahead and try to make this into a dough. So I'm going to add another 5 here. So 1, 2, 3, and let's see what that does for us. That is not going to work for us, so let's do 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, let's see how that does. And so this is that self-rising flour, right? So it isn't usually the one you would use to make a dough. This is going to be more like of a batter and stuff like that. So we'll get going on that. Let's add some more here though. Let's add another 5 teaspoons. This is not coming together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Let's get this. Oh yeah, we'll call that the dough. For sure. I can get my hands in there, and yeah, I could definitely, if I was going to need that, I could definitely do that. So let's go ahead and weigh it. So we have 9.5 ounces. Got our dough. 9.5 ounces, and 270 grams. All right, so now we're going to switch over and do our 1/4 cup. Okay, so what we're trying to do here is make it into a thick batter. I'm trying not to make it into too much of a dough, you know, too much of a dough ball where I'm like really just doing that with it, because then it's just, it develops the gluten too much. All right, so I've got half of a cup of water in here now, total. And let's see. Yeah, this is coming together to be a batter. Might be a little too thick. Sorry about the earthquakes here. Trying to catch that point where it's like just considered a batter. We don't want it to be considered a dough anymore. And this might be just too thick for that. I'm not sure. Let's go ahead and, I don't know, that's like a cake batter. All right, we'll consider that. We'll consider that good. All right, so we did half a cup of water. All right. And it's 363 grams, so half cup water. Okay. And now let's try adding another quarter cup. We're going to try to make this into a thin batter now. Think pancake batter. Crepes. Not really like waffles, but maybe like something that you would dip in before you fry it or something like that. So we want it to have some body still. But let's see how this happens. Alright. That's about as thin, and you know, it'll thicken up just a little bit, but I think that this is just about right, honestly. That's how you want a pancake batter. And I don't really want to take it too much thinner than that. Okay. So we just added a quarter cup there. And how many? We're on grams right now. And tear that out. Okay. So 422 grams. And let's grab those ounces, 14.9. All right. So I'm going to get everything kind of cleaned up here, and then we'll look at the numbers and see if we can find any patterns or anything like that. All right. See you in a second.